All right, so welcome to the next video in this menu series here. So basically in this video, what we're going to do is get the new game load settings and quit button working. And the goal for these buttons is pretty simple. The goal is when you click on new game, it takes you to a new scene. When you click on load, it actually calls this game window, or it sets active this particular panel. Settings does the same thing, and so does quit. And then when you click on no or yes when you want to quit, it'll actually quit the application. So that's our goal, and it's pretty simple. All right, so the first thing we want to do, I'm actually gonna not do new game just yet. We're gonna work on the load button. Okay, all right, so let's take a look. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take the quit menu. I'm gonna turn it off in our inspector here. Same thing with the settings, and the same thing with load. Okay, and I'm gonna get rid of that. So now those are completely gone, and the only thing that we see is this one. All right, so I'm gonna drop down the main menu, and I'm gonna go to the buttons. And then in the buttons, I'm going to click on the button itself, okay? All right, so what we need this button to do is it should know when we click on it with our mouse to do a particular action, okay? All right, so in order to do that, Game Creator has the ability to use Unity's event system here, using this right here in the right side on the button script called the onClick event. Okay, so let me show you how that actually works. It's actually pretty simple. The first thing we want to do, we can click on this right here where it says onClick, hit this plus button, and then it brings up this here. Next, we want to click on add component, and we can click action, or type in action and then do action, just like that, okay? And then what you can do is you can take this action, click it, and drag it into here. And then once you do that, you can click on no function, actions, execute. All right, so next, what you wanna do is click add action. And we wanna type in something called set active. Okay, and so what this is going to do is going to take our load menu and make it active. Right now it's inactive. Okay, so I'm going to click and drag this into this here. All right, and so it's going to set this active. And then we also want to set the main menu inactive. So what I'm going to do is hit this button here where it says copy. We're going to hit this button here for pasting. Instead of us having to search for the same action, then we're going to take the main menu panel, drag it here, and we're going to check this box, and that box means false, so it's going to be inactive, okay? So we can test this actually right now, and let's see if this actually works. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and hit the play. Now, if I hit new game, it shouldn't do anything, settings quit. But if I hit load, it takes us to the load screen. But of course, we can't go back, right? And so those are not working yet, and that's fine. We'll get those working here soon. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit play. And that's how you would do the load button there for that. But there's another way to approach all of this actually, and let me show you. So one way to go about it is what I just showed you, where you could actually have your actions here and you can click and drag that into here. But I want more of like a management type of thing, right? So what I might want to do is access these actions without having to click on my buttons. I want to just click on the action. So what I'm going to do is in my canvas, I'm going to right click and I'm going to create, let's see, I'm going to create maybe a empty game object. And I'm going to call this, let's call it scene management. Okay. Now within scene management, what we're going to have is a bunch of different actions related to the different buttons within all of our menus here. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is right click, and then I'm going to go to game creator, and then I'm going to go to actions. Okay. So now here's a standalone game object with a actions component. Okay. So I'm going to do literally the same thing. Let's go back to main menu and go back to buttons. And I'm just going to simply close this or remove this component. Just like that. And so now our on-click event is missing an object. All right. And so what I'm going to do is take this and do the same thing. Set active. I'm just going to go ahead and paste it both. So now we know what we need to do. We need to make our load game menu active. I'm sorry. Yeah, we need a load game menu active, not the button. And then we need the panel inactive. Okay. And so now we have those actions there. All right. And then what I will do is name this load game actions. And so this tells us that these actions are for the load game button. And so load game button, and I'll put a BTN for short. Actions. All right. All right, perfect. And so now what we're going to do is go back to our button. Wrong screen, panel. Go back to that button there, load game button. And we're going to click and drag our load game button actions here. And so you want to make sure you also go back and do actions and you want to execute. Okay, perfect. All right, so now let's check to see if this is actually working. And so you want to make sure your load game menu is turned off, main menu is turned on. All right, and we should get the same result. So let's push play. New menu settings not working, load game, boom, and that works. Nice. All right, and so that's how we're going to approach all of our buttons throughout all of our different menu panels here. Okay, we're going to use this as a management tool to help keep us, I guess, organized with our actions so we can see exactly what we need. So if we need to make any changes to what this button does or how it performs or what it, anything that you need it to do, you can make those changes quicker and easier without having to go deep into the different menus here. And so there we have it. So let's go ahead and set up settings as well. So I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste this here. And I'm just going to change the name. And I'm going to call it the settings button actions. Okay. And so for the settings button action, you would want the settings menu to be active and you would want the main menu to not be active, right? All right. So that's how that's going to work. And so what we're going to do is go back to our main menu, go to the buttons, and we're going to click on button for settings. We're going to do the on click event. We're going to drag the settings actions into there. We're going to do the actions and we're going to hit execute. And we're just going to double check to make sure that's working as well. So let's go ahead and hit play. Load is working. settings is working. Perfect. And we have a low volume thing. All right, nice. All right, and so let's go ahead and do the quit the same way. All right, and so I'm going to go to my actions. I'm going to copy paste. And we're going to do the quit button. And we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to make sure our quit menu is active, and we're going to make sure the main menu is not active. Okay, and let's go to, where's the buttons? Quit button, on click event, take our actions, pop it in there, actions, execute that, and we're going to test it, make sure it works. Quit. All right, nice. All right, and so that's just a really quick way to go ahead and get that working with your buttons and calling and setting your active menus and whatnot. And so the next thing we want to do is get the other buttons going back the other way. So we'll go ahead and do that in the next video.